Hey, honey,
Yes, Barry?
let's get out of here.
Where are we going?
Where do we always go?
Fascina el viento, este ritmo de palmas, sin ti naturaleza, hasta encontrar la playa. Por eso grito al mundo, yo soy de Puerto Vallarta. Samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. Samba de Puerto Vallarta.
Hello, fellow travelers, and welcome to this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. I'm your host, Barry Kessler, and I'm just so happy to be introducing you to my favorite vacation destination. Hey, maybe it's even yours, and that's Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. That music you're listening to is performed by Alberto Perez, and Alberto is the owner of the Lapa Lapa group of restaurants here in Puerto Vallarta. Those are the Lapa Lapa, Vallarta's oldest restaurant on the famous Los Muertos Beach, and the El Dorado Restaurant and Beach Club right next door. So you can enjoy that fantastic view of the Los Muertos Pier, all lit up at night in beautiful colors, or during the day in its grand splendor for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, seated with your toes in the sand right at the water's edge. It's so romantic. It's so Puerto Vallarta, my friends. Well, today I am going to take you to the Marina Vallarta, and we are going to explore their Thursday night market. But before we do that, let's see what's happening in Puerto Vallarta this week, the 21st of September, 2018. Well, it finally happened, folks. Someone finally got schmeiced by a crocodile. Let's read from the Puerto Vallarta Daily News, shall we? September 3rd, 2018. Staff from the State Civil Protection Unit of Jalisco, in coordination with firefighters from Nayarit, Puerto Vallarta, and Banderas Bay, located the remains of a fisherman in the Ameca River. Missing since Monday, the victim was attacked by a crocodile and presumably dragged to the bottom of the river on Monday, and the body was found 24 hours after the report. At 4 p.m. on Monday, fishermen from the river that divides Jalisco and Nayarit spotted a crocodile approximately, 5 meters long that had a human body between its jaws. So the authorities were immediately notified. Firefighters went to the site and observed the crocodile repeatedly emerged and submerged in the water, but emergency crews failed to capture the reptile. It's 5 meters long, no kidding. Are you serious? Tuesday, the body of the victim appeared floating in the river, but because it was severely lacerated, it was impossible to identify the victim. So far, the deceased has not been identified, and the crocodile has not been located. That's because the crocodile got a bunch of tequila from the fisherman, and the crocodile is now totally wasted. All right, I'm sorry. It's not right. It's too soon, right? It is. So it seems, though, that once again, like last year, a fisherman got a little too close to the habitat of these crocodiles, the nesting area maybe stepped in the wrong spot along the river. I think last year it was a local Marine that got dragged into the river and killed. So my suggestion, I guess my takeaway on this would be, I don't know, maybe no fishing along the Ameca River for you guys. Oh, maybe along the Pitial as well, right? Just saying, if you want to stick around, you might want to curb your adventurous side and stop thinking about fishing in the river. Oh my. Also have a little bit more good news for you guys to digest here. It's from the Puerto Vallarta Daily News as well. Dated September 19th, 2018. It reports that more than 800 new cases of dengue were reported to the health authorities in the week 36 of the current year, September 3rd through the 9th. Of these, 95 of them were the classic type, and 8 the hemorrhagic type. Puerto Vallarta is the municipality that presents the most patients with dengue so far this year. 56% of the confirmed cases are concentrated in 7 municipalities, including Guadalajara with 50 cases, Zapopan with 47 cases, Puerto Vallarta with 35 cases, and so on. Now listen, numbers are relatively low, but still, I think that this should be a warning to all of you folks. Wear your mosquito repellent because, you need to. Wear it during the day as well as during the night because the mosquitoes that carry the dengue actually bite during the daytime, according to JR. So, anyway, if you want to listen to that, go back to a previous episode. Just type in JR and dengue in the search bar, and you will find the episode, and you can listen to him talk about what it's like to have dengue fever. I got an email from Skip in Minnesota. Thank you, Skip. You caught a mistake that I made a couple weeks ago when I was announcing the open mic event that we're going to be having in front of Cuates y Cuetes. I gave the wrong date. So let's make those announcements right now for the meet and greets and the open microphones that are coming up next month, okay? So first, on Tuesday the 2nd and Tuesday the 9th, I'm going to be having an open microphone with JR over at Kelly's Por Favor Saloon and Cookhouse for his regular meet and greet. Starts at 5:30 in the afternoon. We usually stay a couple hours, and hopefully we're going to set up our microphones upstairs in that beautiful upstairs open patio. Hopefully it won't be raining. And you can tell me what you're doing in paradise. Then on the next day, after the 2nd, Wednesday the 3rd, we're going to be in front of Cuates y Cuetes. We're going to have our toes in the sand for an open mic, and that will be from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock. Come join me in the afternoon. It'll be hot, but I'll buy you a beer, okay? Nice cold beer. Then I have another correction. My friend John told me that I made an error when I was talking about the address over at Mariscos Cisneros. I said that they were on 217 Aguacate, and actually they're on 271 Aguacate. So thanks for catching that. I made the changes in my show notes, and I guess I'm just a little dyslexic here. But at any rate, once again, John, thanks for catching my error. It's much appreciated. I don't mind you guys. If you catch me in an error, let me know, okay? I want to be accurate. I got a suggestion from Melissa in an email. She writes, "Hi, Barry. My friends and I travel to PV every January, and we're looking for new adventures to try. Do you have any suggestions for cooking classes, salsa class, dance class? Also, we'll be visiting Sayulita on our next trip to PV. Any suggestions for transportation, sites, restaurants to see, etc.? By the way, I love your podcast, and I look forward to the new shows. I listen at work while I daydream about retirement. LOL. I'm 35, so I've got a way to go. Thanks for the inspiration." Melissa. All right, well, thank you, Melissa. Look, I appreciate that you listen to that at work, but if you want to retire, you want to keep your job, you know, maybe listen to it. Well, be careful, okay? That's all I can say. Now, I will answer some of those questions right now. My wife, Debbie, and I actually just started taking salsa dance classes, so I'm definitely going to talk to some instructors. Of course, you know, if you want to learn salsa here in Los Angeles, I can help you out, but we're talking Puerto Vallarta, right? So I will talk to some instructors. I don't know if you remember or not, but we talked with Roberto Castellan from Roberto's Puerto Nuevo, and he said that he taught salsa dances, dance class, I should say. And I also have a couple of friends who do as well in Vallarta. So I'll report to you next month and give you some tips about salsa dancing and other kind of dancing as well. Now, as for cooking classes, I'm sure that you remember a couple of weeks ago I had Jorge Hoyle, who will actually come to your house and cook, and or come to your condo and cook, and show you how to cook. But if you don't have a condo with a good kitchen, you might want to skip that. I had Mavi Graf. Mavi did her cooking classes out of her condo over at Marina Vallarta. Very nice. She's a sweet lady, and what an incredible cook. We had an interview with Carmen Porras from El Arian. I don't know if you remember that. That was early in the episodes. So you can listen to Carmen. I sat in on one of her classes. She's got great classes over at El Arian. And then Cesar over at Gabby's restaurant. He teaches a class as well. We talked with Gabby about that some time ago, and you can listen to that interview too. And you can look up all these chefs. They will be able to help you out there. So check them out if you haven't listened to them, and pick one of those, Now, as far as getting to Sayulita, I say take the bus. I mean, it's only like an hour and a half ride from Puerto Vallarta. You need to get to the bus stop in front of the Walmart right there and grab a Compostela bus. It's a green and white bus. Make sure that the word Sayulita is written on the windscreen. Very important. And it'll cost you about 42 pesos, thereabouts, like about $2.50 US. And it's really easy. And those buses run between Puerto Vallarta and Sayulita about every 20 minutes or so. Between like 6 in the morning and 10 in the evening. So, yeah, that's how I would get to Sayulita. Now, as far as tips on places to visit, let me get back to you on that. I'm going to head up that way, and we will talk about that in another show. Okay. So hang in there. Thank you very much for that email and for those questions, Melissa. We will we'll answer those other ones sometime in the next couple of weeks, just before you get here, of course. I got another email from Kathleen, and she writes, "Hey, Barry, first of all, thanks again for what you do. Your podcasts are awesome and extremely informative. I live here full-time." Oh, you are so lucky. "And I love to hear what's going on in the area. I don't always know. Anyway, if no one has suggested this place yet, you've got to have Organic Select in Versailles on your show. That place is amazing. They are a store and a restaurant. Everything they sell is 100% organic, and yes, they have vegan stuff. They also have organic pet food. They even have CBD oil, and for a super low price. Oh, and they deliver to anywhere in the Bay Area. How cool is that? So check them out. I'm sure your listeners would love them." Okay, well, I'll tell you what, Kathleen. I'm going to check them out in October, and I'll report back to everybody and let them all know what I think about your suggestion. You got me interested, though, when you talked about CBD oil. What do I think they are? Californians? Anyway, very interested. I'll have a look. All right, now I'm sure I've forgotten something, but we really need to get on with these interviews, so let's go for it right now. In Puerto Vallarta and all along the Bahia de Banderas, there are these markets. There are these farmers markets. I'll name a few of them off. There's the Three Hens and Rooster Market, Saturday Market at the Lazaro Cardenas Park. There is the Marsol Market every Friday from 9:30 until 2 at the Marsol Hotel next to the pier. And then the Marina Vallarta Thursday Market, which we will be talking about. And then all the way up from Bucerias to La Cruz de Huanacaxtle, Sayulita. It seems all along the bay they have these farmers markets. Now, they're not really farmers markets, right? I mean, you're not going to find piles of fresh fruit and vegetables. But what you will find are lots of different things, handmade items, freshly made items, things that you might not find in Mexico or in Mexican shops, in Mexican stores. You'll find some vendors that are selling the regular normal stuff that you see like all over the place. But many of these vendors are expats. They're actually doing something creative rather than, sipping on an umbrella drink all day in and day out. These folks have looked for something to do, to keep themselves busy, to supplement their incomes. So, they're able to actually live in paradise. So these people are doing things that they love, and they're putting out their products to visitors to Puerto Vallarta each and every day. These farmers markets, they travel up and down the bay. They move from town to town or spot to spot every day during the week. So they seem to be working all the time. So the market at the Marina Vallarta is an evening affair. Every year, every Thursday night from 6 o'clock until 10 o'clock, usually from the very beginning of November until the end of May, you will find literally 150 to 200 different vendors. And they line the Marina Vallarta in booths. And you can just walk and walk and walk and go on and on and on and just see what's going on here. There's music. You're going to see the expats selling alongside local vendors. So when you get there, be ready to spend 2 or 3 hours, especially if you're going to eat at the marina. Now, even for me, I'm a guy who doesn't like to shop, but this was a very, very interesting collection of items and people, by the way. So, you know what? Let's go right now and listen to some of the conversations I had with some of these people. Now, I ran the interviews together, so I'll have something to say after the interviews. And I also have pictures of all these people as well, and the artwork and the items that they were selling. They'll be in the show notes for this episode, so you're going to need to check them out. So, all right. So right now, let's go to Marina Vallarta on a very lovely evening in May, and let's find out what's happening. Let's go there right now. All right, I am with Rocio here, and Rocio has a booth called
Tasco Silver House.
And the silver comes from Mexico. It's all made in Mexico?
All the silver it's made in Mexico. It's from Tasco. Tasco is a little town in the Guerrero City.
Very good. And how long have you been selling the silver here at the market?
It's for many years. It's a family business. In this moment, my parents live in Tasco, and they produce this kind of pieces, and I sell in different places like this.
Okay, so when you say different places like this, where do you sell?
We sell also at Guayabitos on Monday, Tuesday, Nueva Vallarta, Wednesday at Sayulita, and Thursday here.
Okay, so you got the whole bay covered, don't you? You go up and down, don't you?
Yes.
You have a Facebook page?
We have Facebook page and Instagram page.
Okay, I'm going to have links to those, and she's got some beautiful silver jewelry. So when you come here to the Thursday market, stop by and see her. Thank you so much, Rosita, for coming on.
It was a pleasure. Have a good night.
All right, right now I'm at a booth. It's very interesting. Grow your own mushrooms. Okay, Philippe, I'm with Philippe. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Philippe from Guadalajara, and we grow mushrooms. We got a mushroom lab. We reproduce some species of shiitake, ganoderma, lucidum reishi, oyster mushrooms. So we got some products like extracts, dehydrated mushrooms.
Okay, so you teach people how to grow their own mushrooms at home?
Yes, we got the auto kit that it's a little box that will give you 4 or 5 harvests of mushrooms. We have the blue oyster mushrooms, more protein than champignon, than eggs, than milk.
Wow, okay, I didn't know that. You also sell dried mushrooms too, or?
Yes, we got a dehydrated mix. It's a jar, so you can rehydrate with hot water, with some red wine, white wine, and then you cook it like it's fresh. So, well, we found some mushrooms with many properties, medicinal mushrooms. Yep.
Magic mushrooms too?
How strong do you want it?
All right, you're my man. All right.
I'm joking. It's just eatable and medicinal mushrooms. Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. All right, never mind. No more magic mushrooms for you guys. You can't have any. Tell us where to find you guys.
Well, we are now in Puerto Vallarta, Marina. So, well, you can find us on Facebook, like Garden Cuts. It's the name of the brand.
Very good. And you have a website too, yes?
Yes, we got a website. It's gardencuts.com.
Very good. All right. When you come to Puerto Vallarta, stop by, check out his booth. It's pretty cool. I'm going to have pictures of him and also, pictures of his booth here. Thank you very much for joining me and letting me introduce you to my listeners.
Thank you, too.
Hey, what a surprise. I see Todd Atkins here from Choco Diva and from Licks and from, all the sweet places in Puerto Vallarta. Here he is. You made it to the Marina Market, like you said you were going to do.
Yeah, we were pretty happy. This is our second week that we were in the Marina Market. We've been in downtown now for a while, and it's nice. It's a different crowd out here. Some of these people won't go into Old Town. It's kind of funny being so close, but they just won't come down. So it's nice. We see new people and just letting everybody know about Choco Diva and expanding the business. So it's been a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Well, this is a great place to get a lot of, coverage because there's a ton of people walking past here. This is really cool.
Yeah, I've heard it's the largest market, and I believe that. I mean, we just see so many people walking by, and some people are just out for a stroll, but it's nice just to say hi, and eventually they will stop and buy from us. So we're happy and excited about that.
Well, it's good to see you here. Thank you very much for talking with me today.
Good to see you. All right, let's get together.
Okay, I found a booth that sells peanut brittle and coffee. Okay, I don't know about that combination. Actually, it probably is pretty good.
Pretty good combination. Peanut brittle from Louisiana.
Okay, tell me, who are you, and tell me about yourself.
I'm Alan, and I moved here to Puerto Vallarta a year ago, last October, or October a year ago, and brought my peanut brittle recipe that my mother made for many years. I grew up making it. And made it all my life and sold it. And so I decided to retire from real estate and moved here and started selling the peanut brittle. And we worked 5 markets in Puerto Vallarta, and it's been going over very well. And I met my partner here, and his family owns a coffee farm in Chiapas, and they grow it and roast it, and then we sell it here and help the people in Chiapas. So.
Oh, okay. Well, you're going to tell me about how you help the people in Chiapas. Tell me your name.
My name is Acel. I'm original from Chiapas. So our coffee is being from generation by generations. So we roast it in a very traditional way in the Mexican brick oven. And however, my mom roasted with small portions. And we always do it with we always follow the traditional way. So we always carry the dark, medium, and a espresso.
Okay, so the coffee comes from Chiapas, and is most Mexican coffee, is it grown in the same kind of location, or where else do they grow coffee in Mexico?
They grow in Veracruz, in Oaxaca, and Chiapas.
So tell us a little bit about your place over there. You do the whole process, right? You dry it, you roast it, you get it all ready and bring it to the market. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so our process, our coffee. So my dad, his coffee plants, he used the pulp to fertilize the coffee plants. So also he grinded in a very traditional grinder by hands. So we pick up the coffee. We get our family pick the coffee, and we dry the coffee for 4 days in the sun. So and then we roast it by a small portion, and then in a Mexican oven, and we get it here in PB, and we put it everything together. So our unique flavor is because we roast it with pine wood.
Ah, okay. All right. Now, you told me that you help the people of Chiapas. How is that done?
The reason how we help them is because the Starbucks used to go and get the coffee very cheap. So the way we help my family is that bring the coffee here in PB and sell it on the farmers market.
Very good. You're cutting out the middleman, aren't you?
Yes.
We pay his family twice what Starbucks would be paying for the beans. And we also bought the peanuts this year from his mother's family who raises peanuts in Chiapas. And then we paid the people in the village to shell them by hand, so they were able to make a little money from shelling the peanuts as well as growing them. So
this is very symbiotic here. I mean, this is, you have this peanut brittle recipe, and you happen to meet this gentleman here who's got coffee and peanuts.
Exactly. I met him at a restaurant. We met at Adobe's restaurant in Old Town. And he went to culinary school and was trying to decide what to do with those training. And I happened to have the recipe, and I love to cook. So it kept him in the kitchen, and it kept him at home instead of going to a restaurant or working private parties and catering and things like that. So,
great deal. All right. So when you are doing this peanut brittle, I mean, we're in a very humid kind of a climate. Did you have to make some adjustments on that recipe?
That's a very good question. We didn't make an adjustment on the recipe because the recipe is tried and proven. It's an over 100-year recipe that's been passed through my family for generations. And I grew up making it and learned salesmanship at a very early age, selling it for the family out on the streets. So what we did here in Puerto Vallarta to adjust for the humidity is we put 2 air conditionings in our kitchen area so that we remove the humidity during the cooking process and the packaging process, and then we immediately put it in the bags and heat seal it and then we store it in refrigeration before we bring it to the market so it doesn't see any humidity until it's opened, and then we tell our customers to squeeze the air out of it. We have it in resealable bags and to either keep it in the refrigerator or the freezer.
Excellent. Okay, you got all bases covered, you two. You guys have a Facebook page?
We do have a Facebook page.
Our Facebook page is Finest Peanut Brittle Puerto Vallarta.
Very good. I'll have links to that for you guys. And you have a website too?
We don't have a website as of yet, no.
Okay, well, you know what? Most people are using Facebook as their business page. It makes a lot of sense.
In a way to promote the other markets, we work 5 markets. We work the Nuevo Vallarta, which is called the Riviera Market on Tuesdays. That's from 9 until 2 o'clock every Tuesday during the season. And then we go to Bucerias on Wednesday. That market is called Forever Spring. And it's a fun market, and it's more like a destination market. People come there, it gives them something to do, and then the market there is from 9 until 1 every Wednesday. Then Thursdays we're here at Marina Vallarta, which is from 5 until 10 at night, which is a fun market because it is at the night time, and there's a lot of wonderful boats and lots of people watching to be done here, and a lot of great restaurants in this area to enjoy. If you don't find something at the market you want, you'll find something in one of the local pubs or restaurants right here. And then on Friday we're at the Marsol Market, which is down by the pier. And it's from 9 until 1 and 1:30, and it's in the Hotel Marsol lobby. And then on Saturday, we're at Three Hens and a Rooster in Old Town, and that is from 9 until 1 every Saturday. And that market goes year-round.
All right. Well, you guys are going to be really easy to find, and you've been really easy to talk to. I want to thank you both for coming on the show and letting me introduce you to my audience.
Thank you for having us on this show. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, I am here with Laurie Wheeler, and Laurie has a booth called Wellness Within, Healing for Mind and Body. Laurie, thanks for allowing me to interview you.
Oh, well, thank you very much for stopping. I appreciate it. I've been a homeopath for over 20 years, and I come from the States, but I am now in the Bucerias, Vallarta area, bringing what it is that I do, and basically it's holistic medicine, which is medicine for the mind and the body, because you really can't separate the two. They go together, and so you must treat, if you're treating an illness or a disease, you must treat the whole person, because there is a mental state, an emotional state, and a physical state. And many times you can find a thread that runs throughout the entire person. So it's really fascinating work. I meet all kinds of people, and they come in, and sometimes they've actually said, I got more in the 2 hours of the consult than I've had in years of doing therapy work. So it can be a little therapeutic to talk about what's going on for you. And then I choose a homeopathic medicine that matches everything, and it's based on like curing like, so it comes from plant, mineral, or animal, these medicines, and when you match it up and it fits the person, you watch and see beautiful change happen physically, but mentally and emotionally too. So they use homeopathy down here, the physicians, but they do it in a bit of a different way than I've been trained, and I've trained with people from all over the world. So I have a great melting pot of information that comes worldwide. I also work in chemotherapy, which is it's a lower dosing of homeopathy, but it's for drainage and lymphatic system in that. And then I work with Rife therapy, which works by eradicating viruses and bacteria in the body and that. And then I do some spirit work also. So I've been involved in shamanism for over 20-something years. And I believe we're not only a mind and a body, but a soul. And so if you're going to treat a person, you want to work at all the levels if you can. But I love my work, and I love watching people make change and being who they really are.
Fantastic. Laurie, where are you from?
I'm from a lot of places. I'm from New Jersey originally, worked in New York State and New York City, and then I met my husband, and I moved up to New England. So we lived in Maine, we lived in Boston area, and Cape Cod. So I've been all over.
But now you're in Puerto Vallarta. So tell me, what was your path to Puerto Vallarta?
Well, it's a funny thing when life calls you and says, this phase is done, this chapter's finished, time to move on. I kind of think I'm in my 60s now, and it's kind of a life change last quarter. What do you want to do with your life? Well, I want to be in a place where there's great people, great life happening, and yet do my work, because I'm not ready to retire. So we come down here, my husband's working and I'm working and loving life, and I can do it all and having a great time with it. So
fantastic. Okay, now you're from the Bucerias area. You're spending some time up there right now. So tell our listeners where you would go for breakfast in Bucerias.
Oh, well, one of the better places that I think is Panino's, and I actually work, my office is right behind. But the people there are wonderful. They make a delicious breakfast, and their coffee's excellent. And you can actually get a Bloody Mary or a mimosa on a given day, and it's just a quaint place and wonderful place to eat.
All right, Benino's. I've heard, Natasha Moraga told me about Benino's. That's very good. What about lunch? You have anything for lunch that you want to share with us? Or maybe dinner. Maybe you don't eat lunch. I don't know.
No, I eat lunch, definitely.
Oh, wait. Yeah, you are the wellness person. You must have 3 squares a day, right?
At least 3 and a couple little snacks in between, but all healthy. My favorite place for dinner is Suka, which is down just a little bit close to the Kissing Bridge. It is a phenomenal place to eat. Their food is delicious. The wait staff, we've become such friends with them. They're wonderful people. You can sit right on the beach and enjoy your dinner, and it's a lovely place to go have dinner.
Suka.
Yeah, Suka, Sukha, I think.
Okay, I'll have a link to that, and I'm going to have a link to Laurie's information as well. Laurie, thank you so much for talking to me and letting me introduce you to my audience.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, I am now with Federico, and Federico has the most interesting jewelry. I am, you know me, I have a jewelry background, so I love good, really cool things. And what Federico does, it looks like he takes color pencils and slices them up and then makes beautiful art with it.
See, yeah, this is my work. I make all the stuff. The make is different materials and plastic, color pencil, different woods, cedar, ebony, different materials.
Yeah, it's so great looking. Now, are you also a jeweler? Are you a joyero? Do you make the silver pieces that you inlay?
I make all the stuff. The first piece finish work. Yeah.
It's beautiful work. I'm going to get pictures of all of his stuff. Federico, do you have an online presence? Or you have a Facebook maybe, or?
My fan page is Del Montón, Artesanía Mundana.
Okay, very good. I'm going to have links to his stuff. I'm going to have pictures of his beautiful work. And Federico, thank you so much for just taking the time. I know you're a little nervous because you don't think your English is very good. I think your English is great.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again.
Gracias.
All right, I am with Ada Colorina, and Ada has set up here it looks kind of like an art studio, right? People are painting?
It's an art exhibit at the Marina. Yeah.
So tell me, are you here? Do you come here every Thursday?
Almost.
Tell me a little bit about you. Are you from Puerto Vallarta?
Yes, I'm from Puerto Vallarta. I have more than 30 years painting, and I have my work in my studio in Paso Ancho.
Ah, we all know Paso Ancho. Okay, very good. So you're just right up the hill.
Oh, yes.
Tell me about what you paint. What is it that you... I'm looking at, these are all Puerto Vallarta centric, right? There's lots of water, lots of sea life. Tell us about your inspiration.
Okay. My inspiration is Puerto Vallarta, the naturaleza, and all the traditions of Mexico. And I like to paint almost in my imagination the animals, in the sea, the whales and the dolphins, and in the downtown, all the dogs, all the iguanas, all this, toda la fauna.
The fauna would be like the animals, right? You love the animals.
See, yes, I love the animals, and I think all the animals, the people, we are living in harmony. I like to paint that, the harmony with the man and the animals. Yes.
Beautiful, beautiful. Tell us where you are located here in the marina.
Well, I'm located here in by the I don't know in English. Lighthouse.
Yeah, that's
The
right.
faro.
Right. How do you say that in Spanish?
Faro. El faro.
El Faro. That's why it's called El Faro, right? Okay. And duh. All right. Here we go. Beautiful. Do you have a Facebook page or do you have a online presence?
I have my Facebook, Ada Colorina, and I have my website too. And you can find my work too in Galleria Corsica if you want to see more.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to have links to all of those, and I'm going to have a picture as well of Ada right here in front of her artwork. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Oh, thank you.
All right, I am now talking with a young man named Jesus Lopez. And Jesus, thanks for coming on.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Listen, I am in front of this booth that this painter is using his fingers in creating the most unusual, just the most beautiful pictures of, well, Puerto Vallarta and beaches and all that stuff. Tell me about this artist.
Well, his name is Jorge Lopez. He's been doing this technique for 57 years. He's a self-taught artist. And actually, when he discovered he can do this, he was a photographer. And 60 years ago, the photos were black and white. And one day after he was coloring some photos, he got some paint on his hand. And he just wanted to take off the paint. And so he smeared the paint in a piece of cardboard, and he did something that looked like a mountain. So he was, it looks like a mountain. And he started playing with the paint using his fingers, and that's how he came out with this idea.
It's incredible. I'm going to have pictures of his artwork. And where is he from? Is he from Vallarta?
He's from León, Guanajuato. He's been living here for 28 years now. And he has traveled around showing his work in Mexico, in the United States, and Canada. But here in Vallarta, he's been for 28 consecutive years.
Great. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to have some pictures of him doing his work with his fingers. Is there any other place that he has his work other than here on Thursday nights?
Well, here we're just for the season from November to May in the market from every Thursday 5 to 10. But you can find him in the mornings at World of Tiles. It's a factory store. There is a downtown. He's every day in the morning from Monday to Saturday. Yeah.
Okay, so at Tile World downtown.
Yes, it's a tile factory, well known here. So they let him do his work in there in the morning. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! All right, Jesus, thank you so much for coming on. Oh, tell us where we can find this booth.
Okay, our booth is P010 is a spot. It's located right in front of La Terraza di Roma, the Italian restaurant here at the Marina Vallarta.
Fantastic. Hey, listen, while I've got you here, you spend some time here in the marina. What's your favorite places to eat here for breakfast? Can you give me one?
Well, there are lots of options. I like the Mr. Cream Pancake House, Las Palomas Dorada, and right here, La Terraza de Roma is a very good spot. So.
Great. All right. Well, thanks for those tips. I really appreciate it. And thanks for coming on and let me introduce this fine artist to my listeners. Thank you so much, Jesus.
It's a pleasure, Barry. Thanks to you. Have a good night.
All right, I'm with Rafael. Rafael is an artist, and he makes the most incredible pieces of art, and they're like teeny tiny. They're beautiful. Tell us about you.
About me, so I went first in Puerto Vallarta in 1986, and so I've been traveling a lot, doing my paintings all around the world, and then after 30 years, I'm back in Puerto Vallarta since 2 months.
Really?
Oh, yes.
So 2 months in Puerto Vallarta, and do you? I guess you're going to be a regular here at the marina.
Oh yes. Oh, I'm coming every Thursday.
Do you have a studio somewhere in Vallarta?
We work at home, so from our apartment in just next to here in Colonia Versalles.
Wonderful. Tell us where you learned this technique.
Well, I learned it many, many years ago. So I'm painting now for 42 years on watercolor. And I'm an autodidact, so I learned it by myself.
You have a fantastic accent. Are you French?
Yes, I'm French. I'm from Paris.
Fantastic. All right. Now, you've got this, everybody, when you come to Puerto Vallarta and you come to the Marina Market here on Thursday nights, come and see Rafael here. He has got the most beautiful work. Are you online at all?
No, not really.
Really? You don't have like a Facebook page or something?
Nope, I don't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, he's playing hard to get. All right, you guys. I'm going to have a picture of Rafael. I'm going to have a picture of some of his work. And make sure that when you come to the Marina Market on Thursday nights, stop by and see Rafael. Rafael, thanks for letting me introduce you to my listeners.
Hey, thank you very much. I'm very pleased to meet you. And I'm waiting for all the people you're going to send us.
All right, right on. Okay, Rafael. Thanks, brother.
Thank you very much.
All right. Well, that was kind of fun, right? Now, I really love that French artist. This guy, he painted these miniature pictures, and they were so beautiful, and he was so excited about what he did. You got to see a picture of this guy. Also, that artist who painted with his fingers, he painted with his fingers on tiles, and you just got to see these pictures. They're beautiful. Anyway, once again, I took pictures of him and of his art. It was fantastic. And that mushroom guy. How about that mushroom guy? That was something different. Actually, come to think about it, this is magic mushroom season up in El Tuito. Magic mushrooms. Hey, remember last week I told you about my experience in Chapultepec Castle there in Mexico City when I was a college student? I said I was going to tell you a little bit about it. Well, it involved magic mushrooms, as a matter of fact, from Oaxaca, I do believe, not from El Tuito. But I just don't have time for that, or the energy to tell you that story. Coming out little by little, though, isn't it? Maybe another time soon. Maybe if you want to know where to find those mushrooms over in El Tuito, my buddy JR might be able to tell you how to do that. I don't know. Just saying. All right. Now, remember, you guys, that the Marina Vallarta, that Thursday market, doesn't get started until November. It's not going on right now, but it will be very, very soon, and it goes until the end of May. So if you're in town, right now, sorry about that, but later on, it'll be there. I will make sure that I make the announcement as soon as I know that they're up and running, okay? All right. Now, I have a scheduling change next week. There will not be a show. I'm going to be getting ready to head out to Paradise, but I will have a show on Thursday, the 4th of October. We'll have the meet and greet and a couple other little surprises for you, so definitely stay tuned for that show. Also remember that if you're going to be in town October the 10th through the 14th, the Lions Club is going to be in town. They're going to have eyeglasses for the folks that need them here in Puerto Vallarta. And I'll have more on that show on the October 4th show. We'll talk a little bit more about the Lions Club. Okay, so stay tuned for that. And if you've been wanting me to interview somebody, this is the time. I'm heading over to Puerto Vallarta, so send me an email and let me know who you'd like to hear from, just like those 2 emails I got earlier, okay? All right. Well, I think that should do it for this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. Next week, stay tuned for more on-the-ground reports from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, with travel tips, great restaurant and excursion ideas, and more. But until then, remember this is an interactive show where I depend on your questions and your suggestions about all things Puerto Vallarta. If you think of something that I should be talking about, please reach out to me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending us your message. And remember, if you're considering booking any type of tour while you're in Puerto Vallarta, you must go to vallartainfo.com. That's JR's website. And reserve your tour through him right from his website. Remember, it's a value-for-value proposition, my friends. His experience and on-the-ground knowledge of everything Puerto Vallarta in exchange for your making a purchase of a tour that you would do anyway. You're just doing it as a way of saying thank you. Thanks, JR, for being our guide. It costs no more than if you were going to use someone else, so just do it, really. And when you do take one of those tours, email me about your experiences. Maybe you can come on board and share with others what you liked or didn't like about the tour. Again, contact me by clicking on the Contact Us tab and sending off a message. And don't forget, JR has his DIY tours, his revitalized happy hour board, and more right on his website. I have links to all of those in my show notes and all over my website, so you should have no problem at all finding VallartaInfo.com. And once again, if you like this podcast, please take the time and subscribe and give me a good review on iTunes if you would. That way we can get the word out to more and more people about the magic of this place, Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Remember, I made it easy for you to do that with each episode I create. And if you haven't been to my website, I'm going to come after you. You really need to go there and have a look. I have links to all the places we talk about. I've got interesting pictures and more right there in my blog posts and in the show notes for each episode of the show that I create. So check them out if you haven't already. All right, I'm done. Okay. Well, thank you very much, all of you people there that took the time to talk with me over at the Marina Vallarta Thursday Night Market. Get there while you're in town next time. And remember, make sure you check out those dates of operation, November through May, from 6 o'clock until 10 o'clock. It's a great experience. Can't miss it. And, hey, thanks to all of you for listening all the way through this episode of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show. We'll see you in a week and a half. This is Barry Kessler, signing off with a wish for all of you to slow down, be kind, and live the Vallarta lifestyle. Nos vemos, amigos.
De Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de amor junto al mar. Solo camino eterno por la playa, me encuentro junto al río cuando todo está en calma. Pronto cae la noche, me brillas Puerto Vallarta, samba de Puerto Vallarta, noche de arrullo en el mar. De Puerto Vallarta.